here. I'm not sure what's happening. I keep getting cut off. Let me leave. I'm live. I am live. It now says I am officially live. Not sure what happened there. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings from North Carolina. How is everyone this evening? I just shared myself out to CCC, but it's going to take approval, so I'm not sure. Yes, Kristy will probably approve that in just a sec. And I'm going to focus on my chat up on the screen. Hi, Kristy. Okay, good. Whew. I was worried there for a second because it said I was live and then it didn't. So I had to go back and go live again. It was really weird. But I'm here and I'm seeing the chat come through. Hi, Miss Sarah. Kristy, that's my daughter, Sarah. She's in Ohio. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see. Do you see me now, JJ? Yeah. Okay. Is it that look in your eyes? I have Bruno Mars stuck in my head. Or is it the things you do? All right, let me put the lineup up. So I left Miss Shauna up on the left-hand side, as you see. She was going to go live, but she had a small family emergency, so we are all keeping our thoughts and prayers with her this evening. If you could send a prayer up for her, I would appreciate it. And thank you, Kristy. So she was unable to join us this evening, but I kept her on the broader flyer, as you can see, but she was taken off of the 6 p.m. Part for the lineup this evening. So it's going to be me. I'm Michelle with Design&Vine, and then Leah with Make All the Things with me, and then Miss Kristy with Kristy's Crafty Cottage. So that is our lineup for this evening, and no, those are not us on the right hand side. I just thought those were really cute little crafters, so I added them over on the right hand side because this evening is crafter's choice. So whoever the crafter is, it is their choice of crafting this evening. So that is our flyer for the event on YouTube this Wednesday night. Let me see. So Joe is here. And JJ is also here. JJ is Maestro Perlo. And Joseph is my husband, with whom I am celebrating 37 years with. Today, our anniversary is June 21st. So you see those pretty roses right about there that I got from him. They were sitting on my craft desk this morning. Actually, no, they're right, ooh, this is hard, right there where you see the baby's breath, the roses with the candle behind it. Yikes. Okay, the struggle's real when you're doing things in reverse like that. Okay, so I am going to drop the camera so that you can see. I have it actually. I'm having. Let me just say this. I'm having a really difficult. Thank you. I am having a really difficult time keeping this a secret because usually I show everything up front, right? And like you just have to watch me put it all together. But I'm saving something for after I do this first part. So, yes, I am trying to keep my lips zipped on that one. Okay. So you can still see me, but now you see this frame. And it's kind of a boxy frame. It's got some width to it. So that is kind of a hint to what I am not telling you. And I did pull out my Junk Monkey paint for this evening. I am using Sage Flower, and this is what the cans look like, Junk Monkey paint. But I'm using this one that you see opened, and so that I can avoid wiping my brush on the rim and getting it all in there, because the lid snaps in really nicely. But once you start getting paint like dried all in there, it's not so nice, and I have to go in with a hammer and all that. So I'm trying to keep it as nice as I can. So I am gonna paint this brownie frame in Sage Flower with Junk Monkey. And I do want to mention, I am not by any means gaining anything from this. I just love their paint so much, and I haven't even received their new product yet, but they just came out with their Picasso line of paint. And Picasso, she names all her little monkeys, okay? So Petunia, I think, is her milk paint line, Petunia the monkey. And then Pickles is the monkey, I'm pretty sure it's Pickles, the monkey on her Junk Monkey paint cans. Picasso is her, and these are chalk paints. Picasso is her new monkey for her brand new acrylic paint line. Now, it doesn't come in big cans like this. It's literally more for crafters like us. And I'm so excited for her because I think it's really going to take off. And you have to try it, Kristy. I love it. It has such great coverage. Now, pretty sure they have this line of paint. This is furniture paint. It was intended for bigger items. That's why the bigger cans and all of that. But she literally put this out there for like more of the crafting community. And the colors are your basic colors that you would get, say, if you're like a professional painter. So you've got like your standard blacks and white and brown, and I think there's like a burnt umber in there, and there's an orange, there's 2 different blues, 2 different greens, a yellow, a clay color. It's 12 altogether, the colors, and they come in tubes that I don't think she mentioned the size, but I'm pretty sure they have the same amount that come in these small bottles that we're all used to grabbing at the hobby stores. So comes in a little kit. It's got Picasso on the front, and Picasso is her new acrylic line. So I love her, and I love watching her and her husband. I've followed them almost since the beginning. She has a Brush Life channel on YouTube. She also does picking on YouTube for resale at her brick and mortar store that's in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I think the name of her brick and mortar store is Cauldron and Thorn. And she carries all her Junk Monkey stuff there as well, but she also resales things that she finds. But anyway, let me get started with this so that I can finish on time and show you the surprise at the end. And I want to pay attention to chat so I can make sure I'm saying hello to everyone. So I'm just going to go in with this Sage Flower, and we're going to pretty this frame up. This is a brand new brush here. I'm not used to using that little rubber band. I've heard that it works, so I decided to just throw one on there real quick and try not to get the paint all over the edges of the can like I usually do. So look at this color though. I was playing with it a little beforehand to make sure. Isn't that pretty? It's just, I love the colors that she comes up with. But yes, this was a Goodwill find, so I likely paid way less than $5 because I try not to spend any more than that on one single item. In fact, I had the other day, my son was looking at me like, Mom, really? And I ended up putting it back. I had this huge shelf that was like 3 sections, and it had hooks on the bottom, and I had all these thoughts about it that, oh, I can hang that behind me in my craft room when I redo the scenery behind me. And it was clunky. It was solid wood. I even like confirmed that with someone else that was walking by and went, oh, that's nice. And I was like, yeah, right? Tell my son it's solid wood, because he was like, it looks like pressed wood. And I'm like, no, it's too heavy to be pressed wood. But I ended up not getting it. But it was $4.99, and I could have maybe used it. Like, it may not have worked. It wasn't really my style, so that's ultimately why I put it back, and someone picked it up real quick right behind me. But it was literally one of those things, excuse me, that they brought out in a carriage, and I was like, oh, I'm grabbing that real quick before anyone else does. And I grabbed it, and people kept looking in my cart at it and stuff, and I ended up putting it back anyway. So I probably had a few people spying to see if I was going to put it back. Goodwill's funny like that. In fact, my son even was like, man, I'm watching that guy to see if he puts down that pair of shoes, because I will definitely buy them if he puts them down. And he ended up not putting them down, so he was a little disappointed about that. But we have fun. We go. I'm teaching him the ropes on yard selling. He's almost ready to fly free from the nest on that one. If he's not, he probably considers himself ready already. But I showed him, you know, how you have to get up. Like, if it says 8 o'clock that it starts, or 7 o'clock, you got to be there at 6 a.m. And as annoying as it is for the seller, you really do have to be there like extra early, because as they're setting up, people will be getting out of their cars, and you don't want to miss that stuff. And it's hard to say no to people. Like, I've had yard sales, and it's really literally hard to say, no, you can't look at it yet, you know, because you want to sell it. That's why you're having the sale. So you're like, yeah, sure, come up. But just know that I'm still, you know, putting stuff out. So please be patient, whatever, whatever. And typically people will let you, as the buyer, you know, walk up and look as they're putting stuff out, because of course they want to sell their stuff too. So he was like, really, we have to get up that early? And I'm like, yep, you do. So he's even got it down to a science where he's like starting to like write down in order the ones that he wants to go to. Like, we don't just do one. We go to this one first because it's furthest away from the house, and we work our way back. Or this one's first because it's earlier than the rest, and it looks like it has better stuff. That's when people post pictures. People post pictures now, and they post their yard sales online. So that's kind of cool. Because we didn't used to have that back in the day. We used to just get in the car and go yard sailing. And if you came across one, you'd stop if it looked interesting, you know. If you didn't, then you just drove on past. But anyway, I think this is looking better already. So, you know, he's learning the ropes, and he'll still like come over to me and say, should I offer less for this? And I'm like, always. It doesn't hurt to ask, you know. If you feel like it's worth less, or you can't make as much on it as a reseller, then go ahead and ask. What's the worst they can say? No, right? So you get your no, and it's no big deal. You either decide at that point to buy it or move on. So he's learning. I think he's learned pretty much most of it at this point. He sells a lot. He sells a lot. Like, I'm really impressed. Like, we hear the cha-ching all the time, and I'm like, that's really good. So he may be on to something. Of course, I see all the things, and I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. He's like, Mom, put it down. You don't need more stuff. You barely have room for the things you have. And I'm like, but. So I'm learning, too, not to see all the pretty things and have to buy them. Now, if it's something that, you know, I know is worth a lot, and it's selling for, you know, something that I'm willing to pay for, and it's something that, you know, I've kind of always wanted one of, you know, like a piece of Murano glass or something like that, then I'll go ahead and splurge. But you don't see much of that in North Carolina, at least not at the sales we've been to. Unless it's an estate sale, then they're kind of asking too much at that point. So if I can find it at a good price. I mean, even when I went to Italy, Kristy, I don't know if you went to the island of Murano when you were there, but we went and we watched them making the glass, the process and all that, and it was more expensive there to buy it on the island than anything you could probably find. So we didn't get any when we were there. I think my daughter bought some earrings for her friends because that was like the cheapest thing you could find. And she ended up not giving them to her friends. So I'm like, somewhere I still have those earrings, but they're cute, just tiny little pieces of glass that probably broke off in the process and they turned them into earrings, you know. Cute though. Or maybe they intended them to be earrings. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and dry this at this point. I'm just talking away like crazy. But, anyway, let me see. Let's see how many viewers I have on here. Okay. We got this. We got this. I shared this to my group as well, so I'm hoping some people, I know a lot of people don't like to hop over to YouTube, but I was watching Crazy Lamp Lady earlier. She's one of the resellers that I follow and watch all the time, and she was on Whatnot, and she was streaming also to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. She was trying to tell people, if you want to bid, you have to be on Whatnot. And because people were like, how do I bid? How do I bid? And I'm like, I don't know that I would stream to all of those at the same time. It does give you the exposure on Facebook and YouTube. So maybe her getting them to hop over is a good thing. And she's got the following for that. So if I did something like that, people would be like, do what? What app? You know? And I'm like, yeah, Whatnot. It's an app for selling things. And I don't see a whole lot of crafters on there, but I do see some. I got on there one time and tried to sell some of my chalk tour transfers, and that it didn't go well. People were like, what is that? How do you use it? And I should have demonstrated it, but I didn't. So, you know, I wasn't really ready. So now I just kind of watch people and occasionally buy something. But no, he knows. He definitely knows. So if you noticed while I was painting this, there's a little nick at the bottom. I think it's the bottom. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what the bottom and what the top is on this anymore, but I covered it up with the paint and you can hardly tell now, so there is a little, well, you can always see it from one direction. There's kind of a split in the frame right there, but you can't really see it a whole lot. Not a split like broken, just like maybe it could have been stapled a little bit better. I think it's looking pretty good. I'm thinking about actually, no, I don't think I need to. I was gonna say I might paint the inside that like kind of like has this little bit of framing going on the inside, but I don't think I need to. And I am going to finish this off with a piece of this brown paper that's on my table right here. So once it's all said and done, I can't say too much because it will blow the surprise. But hi, Leah, how are you? I'm going to finish off the back of it with this. So even though I'm not painting it, it will get covered with a piece of paper and my staple gun. So I may have to go over this one more time in just a couple of spots here. And then it will probably be good to go ahead and distress it a little. I'm not sure how I want to distress it yet. I don't know if I want to sand and bring through some of that brown, or if I want to just use some distressing ink. What colors do I have? So I have this brown color, and I have, it'd be really cool if I had pink, which I don't even know if it comes in pink. I'm sure it does. And I've got this little black one. I've got a big black one. Maybe I could, no. That's like a gold color. I don't think I want to do that, but I could take a little bit of very light pink, or take a pink and add some white, make it very light, and just kind of go along and add a little bit of that to the frame as well. I really don't want to make it something that is going to look too springy, but you know, like where you can only put it out in the springtime. But I think the surprise part that's going to be added may have a springy look to it anyway, so it may not matter. I may just have to add a little bit of pink to the frame to make that pop, I think. But yeah, I got this entire thing, including the little surprise part that's going to be added, at Goodwill, already put together, and I was like, oh, I know I can make this look a little better. So I'm kind of flipping it, I guess you could say. That's what I'm doing. Hey Charlene, how are you? Thank you for joining me. I'm curious, Charlene, did you get my text message? I don't know. I don't think you're on my texting list. Did you get my text, or did you see me on CCC or on my page? Get a notification? I'm just curious where people are seeing. I'm thinking about maybe not doing my phone thing anymore, because that's like $15 a month. And, you know, I mean, waste not, want not. If people aren't really seeing that texting, then why waste it, you know? So I'm just kind of going over this and putting a second coat on here. Trying to get some double coverage on a couple of areas. How are you doing this evening, my Massachusetts friend? You saw it on Facebook, gotcha. Okay. Okay, just like in your feed, scrolling through. Okay. I think we're good on this as far as the sage green goes, sage flower. And this is Junk Monkey paint. Wow, so that worked, guys, putting a rubber band on there. It helped me not get a junky mess around the edges, and now I can just, well, maybe I already did get a junky mess on this, but this does just snap right back on. And I will make sure, can you turn your volume off? Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna grab some pink. I have some white right here. Let me grab a pink. And I'm just gonna dry brush this on. After I, let me wait, I'm gonna dry this first. Nice true Perlo. That's JJ. That's my son JJ. He's a huge European football, soccer fan, and he watches AC Milan is his team. And Perlo was actually one of the players a while back, one of his favorites. So that's how, I guess that's how he came up with that name. I think we're pretty dry on that. So I'm going to take this, let's see, pink polish. Just, that's probably too much, because I'm going to mix a bunch of, that was apple barrel. This is Deco Art whitewash. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to use my Snow White titanium because I have more of it. And I'm going to get a very, very light pink going here. Very light. Hopefully. It's still a little too dark for me. I want it even lighter than that. So I'm going to go in with some more white. Mix it up. And just get a very, very pale pink. And then I'm going to grab a chip brush and go over this green just a little bit in certain areas. And actually, I may do both. I may sand this down a little and do the brown and the pink, just to give it that look. Uh-oh. Oh no, Charlene. Oh, I'm sorry, love. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the areas. See how pretty that is? Just with one swipe. Where you might get wear and tear from just normal, especially like the corners. Come down on the corners because those often hit. Go down to the second layer. When I say hit, I mean, you know, you knock a picture over, or you're moving and you stick it in a box and it hits something else, or you put your coffee cup next to it and they clang and it chips off paint and stuff like that. Just normal wear and tear type stuff. And then I'm going to go on the inside just a little bit to kind of give that same worn look. And I think it just adds to the character. So it's coming on the inside here as I do the very edge, and that's just adding to the framing. So it's just adding that extra character all the way around. And I'm just going to wipe it off, make sure we get all the dust off of here. And these inner parts that are kind of tucked away wouldn't get normal wear and tear. However, our edges might, the back edges here. So we're going to add a little bit of character to that as well. Look at that, how pretty that is. pretty. I love it. Okay. I think I'm done with that. I'm going to vacuum up these crumbs real quick. So up after me, pinned in the comments, is Leah with Make All the Things With Me. And we, the four of us, Shauna, Leah, myself, and Kristy, make up the Artistry Collective. And of course I did that after I vacuumed. I'm just going to go in and add that tiny bit of pink that I want on there. And I'm going to add it to the brush like so, but I'm going to tap it off on the paper towel because I don't want a whole lot of that pink showing up. So I'm just going to lightly dry brush around the edges here. Just to add a little more dimension using that pink. And it almost looks white, it's so light. And you can see I only had to dip once into that, so and this is the look that we got from that. I hope you feel better soon, Charlene. Yes. Okay. Let me wash my hands off here real quick. So I had all that paint that I mixed up. It's not really a lot. It looks like a lot, but it's not really. I try not to waste too much. Wipe my hands off. I just realized I don't have my hearing aids on, but I don't need them because everybody's typing. Nobody's talking. Yes. The natural places that it would chip and distress, right? So all the parts and pieces that stick out. Okay, I think we're good. Now, I may have enough time to put that back on for the surprise, and then we have to put it together. So in this, I had, in this frame, what came with it, sorry, my green tea I'm addicted to, was this. It's one of those three-dimensional paper things, diorama, I guess. I'm not sure what you would call it because it's just paper and it's very delicate, okay? But it came attached to this piece of cardboard and it was in under the frame. They put it inside. I don't know if it came like this and it's maybe a card or something. I'm not sure how it originated, but you see all the tape around the edges? That's because I added lights to it. And the lights are in like certain areas where they would be appropriate, okay? There's actually a little porch light right here that underneath on the lower layer, there's actually a porch light there. So I went ahead and me turn the lights off. I added the lights where I thought they would look cute. Now you don't see, and I did this ahead of time because they're so tiny, the lights, that it was difficult to work with. And I wanted to make sure that they were in areas. It's not really showing up well. Maybe on the front camera would be better. Let me see if I can make that bigger. Okay, so this way. So kind of like the sky, like the moon is up there, and then one on the porch light of that house right there. There's like a porch light. It looks way better in person, y'all. Let me put my ring light back on. It's kind of got this blurriness to it. You see how the porch light looks a little better on this house right here? And then there's kind of some moonlight or some light from another area, maybe a street light. And then one down over here. I didn't need all of the lights, so I just went ahead, let me you can't see what I'm talking about. I went ahead and taped them to the cardboard, and then it has excuse me, it has this matte frame that I can put over the top of it that also makes it less visible that there's any wiring or anything like that. Even though it only shows up a little bit, there's also glass. So once I add the glass in here, which is right here, so this was the surprise, the lights. I've never added lights to a craft before. I know that sounds insane. Then we add the matte, which doesn't even really show anymore. And then we take and add this, and this is just a little fairy light set that I picked up. Okay, so this is the top. So they had Velcro on here, up at the top and at the bottom, and I'm not sure why, but I'm going to glue this in, and then I'm going to put paper on the back, and I'm going to poke this little controller right here through the, or I'll cut the paper around it so that you still have access to it, and you can replace the batteries as well. It takes like the little hearing aid style batteries, but this is the ultimate craft right here, or the ultimate finished product, I should say. Let me see if I can bring it up a little closer so that you can see the porch light, and then just kind of scattered about some moonlight, maybe a street light, a street on the ground of the property over here. There's, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3 houses that you can see, and then the start of the base part of somebody's yard over here. So maybe they have some solar lights in the ground, and I just thought it would be cute. There's a lot of pinks. Let me put the overhead light back on. Ugh, almost fell because my craft room is a hot mess. So there's a lot of pinks in, oh Lord have mercy, let me tilt it to the side a little so that's not reflecting off the grass. But there are a lot of pinks in the actual picture. There's pink flowers on the railings there, a pink shrub right there. There's a little bit of pink in the sky in the background. So that's why I wanted to add the pink kind of just dry brushed onto the frame itself. And I think that helps to bring out the pink that's in the actual shadow box as well. But I thought, how cute would it be to add some lights to this? And I still have 20 minutes left, so I am going to put this aside because I want to make sure I do the paper backing on this just right. And I'm probably going to, I think it holds in really well, but I may put some E6000 around the edges to hold this in just because, and then go ahead and add some staples around the frame through the back of the cardboard and then put the paper down. So that was what I had in mind for this project. You can see like the glass a little bit, it slides around, but not a whole lot. So I like how this turned out, and it's not going to be a hanging project. I'm going to, once the paper is on, I'm probably going to add some, I'll probably take this off before I put the paper on. It's just a Velcro sticker thing that's on here. I'll probably take this off, add the paper, and then add some type of block onto the very bottom, or perhaps even up here, so that it can become a leaner, like something you would put on a table or something, and it just needs to lean back a little and rest on that block so that it can be viewed. So but it will have this little control sticking out, so you won't be able to, I wouldn't be able to create a hanger that could avoid this. I could have put it on the inside, but then you can't change the batteries and turn it on and off. So that's why I kind of brought it to the outside. All right, so all that said, and I have this little recipe thing that I grabbed at the Goodwill, and I've since taken the sticker off, but again, my rule is $5, so it was less than that. And I can go ahead and start painting this, because what I want to do with this is decoupage onto the top and the front. Even though that little rooster is really, really cute, I don't really like all of the, I'm not going to use it for recipes and all the little flowers. It's kind of busy. It's cute, but it's not my style. So I just thought it was a cute little lidded can, and I'm going to go ahead and start to paint the outside of this. I'll start with the lid, and then I'm probably going to decoupage some of these forget-me-nots on here. So I may do this on the top. A lot of these will fit nicely right on the top. Wouldn't it be cute to somehow prop this open with the lid up and paint the inside of the lid as well, and decoupage something on the interior of the lid, and then plant forget-me-nots in here? How cute would that be? Oh my goodness. Did you really? From who, Charlene? That would be cute too. Like, any of these would go in here, but I can put any of these along the side, along the outside, but these are forget-me-nots, and they're important to me. So they are definitely going on this little jar. So I'm just going to go ahead and start painting this, and I think I am going to give it a heavy coat of Mod Podge first, so that I can make sure that my paint is going to stick well. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and start painting the interior. Let me get my Mod Podge brush, which is somewhere in the vicinity of my Crafty. Here it is. Okay. So we're going to give this a first coat of Mod Podge so that we are making sure that our paint will stick well to something that's not so slick. I have slick stick as well, but the Mod Podge works the same. So while that dries, I'm not going to do the inside of that. I'm going to do the exterior as that dries. I'm going to do the front. Boston International Company. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I love roosters. And this one's really cute, but he's got to go this time. I should probably be using my slick stick. but you know, I'm gonna hold it by the lid and just get this coat of Mod Podge going on here. Oops, that's loud. Sorry.
Hi, everyone.
Joe Borelli. 37 years with me. Poor guy. Poor fella. 37 years today. 1986. We're going to do the outside as well. So I'm going to go ahead and dry what we got here. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's awesome, Charlene. I'm going to have to check out Boston International. I mean, stay local, right? I want to go look at that rooster napkin. Wouldn't it be so cool? I mean, for real, wouldn't it be so cool if you could just, like, show me the napkin on here? Just saying. Like, I get that there would be all kinds of people sending pictures and stuff like that, and it's not really a doable thing, but I think it would be cool. Really? Show me. Show and tell. We could have show and tell. Gosh, I don't remember back that far, to be honest. I don't remember doing show and tell. I couldn't tell you anything. I remember being on Romper Room. I don't ever remember doing show and tell on there, though, necessarily, but I do know that that was part of it. I can't even imagine what I would have done for a show and tell back then. Maybe a baby doll or something, because that's what I was into. My Dressy Bessie and Dapper Dan, and y'all are probably too young to remember that. Kristy is anyway. Oh, you don't have to do that, sweetie. Save them for your senior center. That is the sweetest thing. My sister does a lot of stuff like that, and I need to too, but I'm so sick all the time. I feel like I'd be spreading stuff and canceling things, and, you know, it's just, Lord help me. So I'm just putting Mod Podge on this right now, and then I'm going to paint it. So I want to get the lid, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. Did I already do it? No, I did the inside, didn't I? Drip, drip, drip. These little holes get plugged up from time to time. Oh, yeah, I was watching, I was watching LT Designs, that family of crafters, and they have, pretty sure they have a laser cutting, a wood, you know what I mean, like a glow forge of some kind or something in that neighborhood. And they called my name because I was commenting. It was their anniversary live or something, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. And they were like, Michelle, you won the next prize. And I was like, what? No, you don't have to send me anything. And they were like, you know, you were commenting and you won. And I was like, oh, well, right. And they sent me the cutest, let me show you. They sent me the cutest little, this, when you were talking about your napkin being red, white, and blue, it reminded me of this. And now I have to find it to show you. And since I have time, and I think I found it rather quickly for me, in fact. This is the cutest little package, okay? Mostly because of what I have in my hand. They sent me this napkin, okay? And they sent me this napkin, which got a little messed up in transit because it was in an envelope. And then they sent me this cute little wood gnome that they painted. It's like painted by them, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen them out and about anywhere. But how cute is that to add to the craft that I make with it? It's like a little tag. It's so cute. It's just a wood cutout. I'm pretty sure they laser cut this and painted it. So cute. So, so cute. And it would almost have to go with this napkin, right? I mean, like, it matches perfectly. It's so cute. So that was my little prize that I won from them. Yeah, LT Designs. They're out of Michigan. I got the envelope right there. So that's kind of cool. And I had forgotten about it. So when I got it in the mail, I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's Happy Mail. And I remembered it was from their anniversary live that they did. So that was fun to receive in the mail. So I don't know. I may save that for next year and craft with it, because I feel like 4th of July is right around the corner, and it's kind of, everybody's kind of sick of that right now at this point. So I don't want this to stick. So I'm going to turn this upside down and dry it real quick. But isn't that cute, Charlene? When you said red, white, and blue, it reminded me of that napkin. Red, white, and blue with a rooster. Is the rooster red, white, and blue? You got me curious now, girl. Love me some napkins. And rice paper. I love rice paper. I love crafting with rice paper. Isn't this pretty? It's like already got like an antique look and feel to it. Ooh, this Mod Podge has me like, smells like glue up in here. Okay. So I will probably get some wear, just natural wear on the edges, and some of this blue may come through at some point, which is kind of cool, because I'm using this to put on it. Let me keep track of the time. So we have roughly 6 minutes until Leah goes live on her page here on YouTube, on her channel, I should say. And I've already Mod Podged a lot of this. I may, let's see, I did both sides, the front. I did this side. Did I do the, I did not do the back yet. So let me go ahead and do the back. And then I probably will also do the bottom, because I don't know, maybe I won't. It has, whoops, well, that's not pretty. It has, I'm trying not to touch the hinges too much because I don't want to glue the hinges shut, right? So I'm trying to steer clear of those hinges. But I do want to get this layer of Mod Podge on here. And it may crackle my paint when I go to dry it, which is fine. But I do want to get that white layer over it. So I may stop here and try to find my slick stick and add a coat of that, because that will help. I probably need to research it. So let me see. Let me do a quick, let's see if I can make this work. I need to move this up. Okay, this is my computer screen. This is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go over here, and I can see comments up on my TV. I'm going to do a Google search on, can you tell that I like forget-me-nots? There's a reason for it, and those of you that know me know what it is, and I can tell that story another time. In the meantime, I'm going to Google search, how do I get paint to stick to a, whoops, a metal surface. And let's see what comes up, okay? So this is metal. So priming metal before painting is almost always recommended, as it will prevent rust from bleeding through the new paint. Primer also helps paint stick to metal. Also, it says using a steel wool, okay, to scuff the surface just enough that you'll give the paint something to adhere to, which yields a longer lasting blah blah blah. Cleaning metal with mineral spirits instead of water will prepare the new paint to stick to the surface of the metal. So that's 3 thoughts. Let's see what else we've got down here. Why won't my paint stick to metal? In the case of adhesion failure, if I can speak, paint loses its adhesion to the metal surface beneath. The primary causes of adhesion failure are poor preparation or unsuitable paint systems. No paint system will adhere to the metal substrate for very long if it hasn't been properly cleaned and abraded. So, Mod Podge was not the answer. And although I see people do metal trays all the time, and I don't see them doing any abrasion to the metal trays and the paint stays. Maybe it doesn't stay. Let's see. Can you paint directly on metal? To prep metal for paint adhesion, you must first clean with soap and water, remove light rust with a wire brush, sand it with fine-grained sandpaper, and then prime. Follow these measures. You'll only have success with dedicated metal paints or multi-surface paints labeled for use on metal. Okay, well, there we have it. I did it wrong, and that's what I get for not researching it first. 4 things to do before painting metal surfaces. Clean it. Eliminate loose or peeling paint, which I don't have any of that. Get rid of rust deposits. There's no rust. Apply the right primer. Okay, so cleaning it and priming it are the most important steps. So I really just need to prime it or use a paint. Let me turn this off. I'm sorry. Use a paint that has a primer in it, which Junk Monkey will work on that. So I'm probably going to use this antique lace, but I'm probably, just because, I'm probably going to prime it first. And I do think that I have some primer, but it is A, time for me to go, and B, all the way on the other side of the room. So I will do this offline. Again, this was my first craft of the evening. Let me turn it on without all the blinking. This was my first craft. There are lights in it, and I think it came out really cute. I like it, guys. For the first time using lights, I think it came out okay. Pretty okay. But right now, we all needed to head over to make all the things with me and watch Leah. So I will give her a minute to hop on, and when I get a picture, I will post a picture on my page on Facebook, as well as maybe I'll do a short on here on YouTube, as well as in the CCC group. I will post a completed picture. So I do want to thank you for joining me this evening, and ask you to please subscribe if you're not already, as well as go ahead and jump over to Leah's page so that we can all see what she has in store for our Crafter's Choice evening. And Yeah, this is closing well with the Mod Podge on there, so it's old, so it's gonna like have a little toughness to it to begin with, but it does still open and close, so I'm good with that. Let's head on over to Leah. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Have a blessed remainder of your week,